Yo, what is up? Welcome to Ninja Geek Games. They say never judge a game by its cover or the fact it has cute dragons in it. That's exactly what I did when I was asked to review Flamecraft. Now, when I think of dragons, I imagine D&D, a Game of Thrones, my mother-in-law, not cute little pets. This is a worker placement game for 1 to 5 players where you represent a Flamekeeper who are naturally able to converse with dragons. You'll need to increase your reputation by visiting shops to gain goods and coin, placing dragons and then spending resources to cast enchantments and watch the town grow and expand. Before we continue, if you enjoy the video, please give it a like and hit the subscribe button. Let's take a look at the content. The game is played out on a long neoprene map representing the local town. Along the edge there are up to 14 areas for shops that has 6 available at setup. Each shop indicates the goods it provides and has 3 areas where artisan dragons can be placed that provide additional resources and abilities that can be used. These artisan dragons form a pool on one side of the board that players can claim with a draw deck to the side that provide goods and special abilities that players can use during the game. Enchantments sit on one side of the town also with a draw deck. These have a cost and a reward for purchase and will slip under the main shop tiles, providing additional resources when you visit. Some rewards and abilities provide you with reputation that is tracked along these paving stones for each player. This is the deck of fancy dragons that provide reputation for endgame bonuses, or if you can meet the requirements of the card at any time during the game. There are 7 types of goods in the game to include coin, bread, meat, iron, crystal, plant and potion. Coins sit in the fountain area in the centre of the town and the other goods are stored off to the side. Each Flamekeeper will receive a player board and a dragon meeple of matching colour, a small hand of artisan cards to start the game with and a fancy dragon. Depending on the number of players in the game, some will also receive a goods token. The components are really nice, an amazing array of artwork and colours on both cards and the town map. The town has areas to store coin, dragon decks and enchantments, as well as a track to record player reputation on these little paving stones. There is also an upgrade pack available for even better quality components, but to be honest, I'm pretty happy with what we have in the base game. Rules are easy to learn and the game is very simple to play. On your turn, you have one of 2 options, gather or enchant. To gather, you move your dragon meeple to a shop, gain resources, attach one of your artisan dragons and use the dragon and shop ability if it has one. To enchant, you choose one of your enchantment cards laid out in town, pay the cost using resources gained from previous turns and gain the reward. Attach this to a shop, activating the abilities of all artisan dragons at your location. I like this worker placement mechanic because you need to think ahead to see what resources the shop provides, do artisan dragon abilities support your need, and can you afford an enchantment for a hefty reward. When you visit a shop, you gain any goods shown on the shop tile. So if you need bread, you'll go here, but if you need meat, you'll want to go here. Whilst there, you can choose to play one of your artisan dragons from hand into these slots as long as at least one of the icons match, and these also provide a bonus reward such as cards or a goods token. During the game, these slots will gradually fill up with dragons so that when you visit, you'll not only gain the reward indicated by the shop, but also by each dragon attached to that shop tile. Also, you can't visit the same shop on consecutive turns, and if you place your dragon meeple on a shop location that already has a meeple from other players, you need to pay each of them 1 good from your play area. Instead of gathering at a shop you visit, you can enchant it by selecting an enchantment from the town area that matches the icon of the shop you're visiting. You pay the cost and gain any reward, and the enchantment then slides behind the shop tile. This means that when any player next visits the shop, they'll be able to claim goods from icons shown on the shop, attached artisan dragons, and any enchantments, meaning you can come away with a hefty profit once these start to fill up. What's more, whether you gather or enchant during your turn, you get to fire up dragons by taking advantage of their special abilities. These grant you additional goods, cards and reputation, and when you gather you can fire up 1 dragon, but if you enchant you can fire up all dragons present at that location. The worker placement mechanic is pretty nice, where over time you'll need to look at what the shop provides with regards to goods, shop abilities, and the fire-up powers of dragons over what resources you already own and whether you can afford to enchant instead. When a shop has 3 artisan dragons present during a player's turn, the town will expand, where you draw additional shop tiles to the town from a pre-constructed deck. At setup, the starter shops provide no special abilities, but as the town grows, these new shops will provide players with additional abilities. As these are selected at setup, you have some variation in the shops available with each game you play. The game can end quite suddenly when the deck of artisan dragons or enchantments runs out, where each player gets just one more turn, with the winner being the player with the most reputation. Although there are 6 types of artisan dragons representing each of the goods tokens, they all have unique artwork and an individual name, which is a nice touch. Also, if you can't afford an enchantment with basic goods but really want it, you can in some circumstances use coin in exchange for any goods you don't have, so it's not often you have little choice available to you. Some of these enchantments require you to pay a set of 3 or more different resources to gain reputation. What's cool here is that on occasion you can pay this multiple times to increase your reward. There are also fancy dragons that provide bonus reputation if card conditions are met either during your turn or at the end of the game. They can provide some last minute boost to reputation, so I generally ensure I've snagged a few of these during play. Companions are an optional variant where each player is dealt a card with a one-time powerful ability that you can make use of during the game. These allow you to score reputation from fancy dragons belonging to other players, using a shop ability twice or taking an extra turn, and are another way to enjoy the game. Solo play is fun when non-used dragon meeples are placed in shops, forcing you to spend resources to go there, with a simple mechanic for adding both artisan dragons and enchantments to shops with a beat your own score play. Here the game offers achievements that allow you to add fancy dragons and shop tiles at setup, as the basic setup initially removes some components from the game. If you are able to meet these endgame achievements, you can then add and switch components for your next game. Although light, I was pleasantly surprised by how much I liked the game. At first, I assumed this would be a very light worker placement, but there is a little bit more depth to the game than I initially thought, and I put this on par with My Little Scythe that I also enjoyed. Depending on player count, you could have up to 14 shops in play, with 28 available on top of the 6 starter shops, so there is a good deal of replay value here, and this includes the fact that you get 2 enchantment decks to choose from at setup. Some of the shop abilities are really fun to carry out, like pushing your luck to flip coins for reputation, and even though the game appears simple, it's engaging through the choices you're going to make each turn. At times, a well-played turn can provide you with a ton of goods, and some fire-up abilities of dragons allow you to gift these to other players for reputation, which is well worth it. Together with the charming components, great theme and artwork, this is a little gem with dragony goodness that doesn't take too long to play. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel. This is Ninja Geek Games. Cheers.